Hey Internet, it's Aaron, your personal driver, and today I'm giving you another Uber news update. Cheers. So I might make this a regular thing. I haven't really decided yet. I don't really know. I don't really like doing news updates, but Uber keeps fucking up all the time. So I feel like to keep up on it, I might have to do like a weekly segment. So I don't know, if this is something you're interested in like watching, then let me know. But it seems like once a week now I'm doing a news update. I wasn't even planning on doing a video at all today, but this little one right here, he decided to keep me up. You know, babies, they do that kind of stuff sometimes. So I figure I might as well multitask, and while I'm feeding the baby and burping him, I'll go ahead and do a quick video about what's going on in the Uber world. So the big news is that the CEO of Uber got put on blast by a driver. I'm sure you've seen that video like in 100 different places and 100 different people talking about it. So I'm not really going to post a video, but I mean, just Google it if you need to. I'm sure all of you have already seen it already. The only reason I bring it up is one, everyone's talking about it, and two, everybody is wrong about it. Like nobody has any idea of what they're doing. So I'm going to clarify what happened in the video and why it's so terrible. Sorry guys, we had a baby freak out, so I had to mix it up a little bit. But basically what happens in the video is the CEO gets into a car with, by the way, two ladies. So if I'm a billionaire, like I'm also gonna get into Uber Black with two ladies. Like, let's keep it real. Good for him. At least he's doing this billionaire thing right. Everything seems to be totally normal. Like nothing seems to be weird. And then at the end, right before he gets out, the driver basically is like, hey, you've made Black suck, and I lost a bunch of money, and I'm going bankrupt now. And the CEO is like, well, tough shit. He basically is like, some people need to take personal responsibility, which is like, so it was just dumb. And then he gets out and everyone was like treating the driver like he was an absolute hero, like, yeah, tell him about it, go do it. Uh-oh. Which is fine, like I guess, like I have had that fantasy too where somebody from high up on Uber gets in my car and I gotta tell them to fuck off. Like, that's awesome, I got you. But like everyone's misunderstanding the story. So what is going on here is, first off, it's a little bit of a miscommunication. Like, the driver isn't blaming the CEO directly. Like, he's not the greatest English speaker, so I feel like maybe give him some credit for what he's saying. What he's saying is how a lot of drivers feel, which is, I had this other job and this other thing going on in my life. Then Uber came around and I was making money. I was a rich person. So I invested in my business and myself and in Uber, right? What this guy did is he bought an expensive car, which, by the way, never buy a new car for Uber. I'll put a link here to my video where I specifically say don't do that. Like, don't buy a new car for Uber. But he did, and to get onto Uber Black, you need to have a specialized car, and especially in the San Francisco market, it has to be very specific, and they're expensive. So the dude dropped 90 grand on a car, and he was making good money. Like, it was a good investment at first. But what has Uber done over the past 5 years? They're consistently cutting rates again and again and again, every year. And so now he can't pay off his stupid car that he bought for it because Uber Black is a joke. The prices for Uber Black are the prices for Uber X 5 years ago. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. That's an insane thing. So that's what he's saying. He's saying, I can't do my business anymore. Now, I understand what Travis is saying, which is, like, don't do business if you suck at it, right? Like, it's not my fault you can't run your business successfully. And that's only partially true. Because essentially what Uber does is this bait and switch, where it gives you all these incentives to sign up, it's amazing, and then they totally take a crap on you. But all that aside, that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, no wonder Uber is getting so much bad press. Because this CEO is the guy running everything. The guy's a moron. First off, anytime you go to any company and you have an employee that was there at the beginning, like an OG, you have to treat that employee with a little bit of respect. Like, you have to treat them different than a normal employee. He was there with you at the beginning, so his opinion matters. And that's with any company. Any smart CEO who does that will at least listen. Even if they disagree and they're taking a company in a different direction, like, you still listen to him. He still knows what he's talking. It's not like he's a newbie that just came off the street. He's been doing it for 5, 6, 7 years. Kind of a disgusting burp there, and I had to do a little bit of a cleanup there. I didn't want to put it on camera. Sorry, buddy. So he's being a terrible CEO because he's not listening to some of the most important people in his company. And that's what I think everybody's missing. Like, ooh, that was a good one. Like, how do you let rampant sexual harassment happen in your company? Why did it get to the point where instead of 25% of your software engineers are female, less than 3% are female? How do you have an HR that doesn't listen to sexual harassment claims, especially when they're super legit? How do you get to that? By the way, I'm going to link this video here to warrant my discussion of that sexual harassment case in case you guys haven't seen it. But how do you get there? How do you get to that point? The way you do it is by ignoring everybody. This idiot, over the last 3 or 4 years, has been ignoring the fact that all of his female employees are screaming left and right that they're getting sexually harassed. He just doesn't give a fuck about anything. It's like, whatever, my female employees are leaving because we're sexually harassing them? Too bad for them. Maybe they should find a job where they don't get sexually harassed at. Like, oh, you can't pay your car payment? Maybe you shouldn't sign up with a company that doesn't pay you very well. It's your fault. It's like this personal responsibility is for everyone but the actual CEO. Like, he doesn't want to take responsibility for anything, even though, like, the buck's supposed to stop with him. It's everyone else's fault. It's so funny. In this video, you're literally seeing projection from a CEO of a $60 billion company to a driver who makes $25,000 to $50,000 a year. He is projecting his own weakness onto that driver and saying, you need to keep respect, you need to take personal responsibility. When literally he has taken zero responsibility for anything. He's like, listen, I'm a billionaire, I didn't expect to be a billionaire, and I don't really care about running this company to the ground as long as I have 2 chicks who get with me in the back of a black, like Uber Black. That's his opinion on it. It's an insane thing. My baby's constant state of changing his mind is making editing this video kind of a nightmare. Like, it's like I can't hide my edits. The baby's in a different place every time. Like, ultimately, the CEO, Travis, dude, you just need to step down. You need to quit and let somebody else do something. Like, you don't know how to handle a $60 billion company. You're not running it like a professional. You think you're still some startup from San Francisco that doesn't have anything to do with anything. You suck at everything. And that leads me to my next point. Like, I don't know if you guys know this or not, 3 execs have left Uber this month because of all this nonsense. No, it's for realsies. So the senior VP of engineering, the VP in charge of Uber's driverless cars, and the VP of product growth have all left. So the fallout's already started, and they all left for different reasons. One was because he was accused of sexual harassment at Google, which of course, if you're charged with sexual harassment at Google, you're gonna get hired at Uber because they're an insane company. The other is because he was caught making out with a subordinate at a party, which is like I don't really care about inter-office like relationships. Like, I got you, if you're in a position of power, even if the other person's consenting, you're still abusing your power by hooking up with them. Like, I got you, blah, 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 but it doesn't really bother me. The problem is, in the current climate, it's too much. like Uber is in a crazy place right now, and they're trying their hardest to get their PR in the right direction. So if you're caught making out with an employee, like, you're just done. Like, you have to leave, and even though I think it's stupid, like, that is actually the right move. That's how you actually operate a business. You change, if you want to change the culture, you have to fire people for stupid, dumb shit like making out with people. So that move actually makes sense. The self-driving car VP, like, that dude, that's a little bit different. Now, the self-driving car VP, like, that's a little bit different. That was a little surprising, and the articles I read were unclear about as to why. I'm gonna guess just because the self-driving car thing is a big giant failure, they wanted to go in a different direction and get somebody different. Like, they set up in San Francisco and got kicked out because, I'm not kidding, they didn't apply for a $200 permit. Like, that, you have a $60 billion company and you can't find a dude to fill out a $200 form. Like, that's where Uber's at right now. So I don't know if that's directly why he got fired. It doesn't really specify, but this is both good and terrifying, right? When you have to get rid of your entire executive staff, that means that you've been going in the wrong direction. However, maybe that does mean Uber is changing, and in the future will start going in the right direction. And I think a lot of this has to do with Arianna Huffington, because she does know how to run a large company, and she's in charge of investigating. So maybe she is kind of like, you know, draining the swamp or whatever. So now that Uber is getting all this terrible press and hashtag delete Uber, hashtag no Uber, and people are giving 1 stars to the app in the App Store, to the point where, like, the rating is dropping exponentially. I think the last statistic I read is 400,000 people have deleted Uber. So with all this bad press, what's Lyft doing? Lyft is being really smart. Right now, they're trying to raise 500 million. Lyft is being really smart. Right now, they are doing a giant investment like grab. They're going out into investors and getting money everywhere they can. They're trying to raise $500 million and expand into a bunch of new cities. And that's really smart because you gotta hit when the iron's hot. And right now, everyone hates Uber, but they still like rideshare companies. So they're looking for an alternative. So Lyft needs to expand now and take advantage of this. The last thing I'll say is Lyft's marketing is just better than Uber's. They're smart. They realize that their customers are 35 and under, that they're really tech savvy, and they're really liberal. And so their commercials are generated for them. In fact, I'm gonna put a link here to the best commercial I've ever seen on the internet ever. So Lyft hired a award-winning director to do this little cartoon about this old lady in Lyft. And I'm serious, I almost cried in it. It was awesome. It wasn't just a commercial, it was basically a movie production, and it was wonderful. It reminded me a lot of Up, for any of those who've seen it or not, that movie from a long time ago. It's amazing. And even though Lyft is basically Uber with a tipping option, they're not that much better ethically or anything like that, they're smarter. They are a better company who is more competent and knows how to live and survive in the market today. And this commercial is just another reason for that, another proof that they are going in the right direction. So good for Lyft. The last thing I'm going to talk about is greyball, which is fucking bananas. Oh, hold on. Which is fucking bananas. Oh god. Sorry, we had a momentary freak out, but I think he's close to sleeping. Actually, I think this light is probably hurting his eyes. But anyway, greyball. So if you guys don't know about greyball, you need to do some research on it right now. It is B-A-N-A-N-A-S, bananas. By the way, I think I knew about this before everyone else. Because drunkenly at a poker table, some guy was telling me about this program a year or two ago. He was working on some super secret program at Uber, and I kind of just shrugged it off. But it turns out yeah, that's a thing that happened. He was maybe not lying to me. So what greyball is this program that they had at Uber to subvert inspections and police officers in various cities and countries around the world. So what Uber has been doing for the last 5 years is creating a need in a market that people didn't know that they needed. And what I mean by that is people didn't know that they needed a rideshare company as badly as they did. Taxi cabs, I guess, were functionally fine and okay for when you occasionally needed them. And public transportation has pretty much filled the void for most people. So what Uber has been doing is showing what amazing things can happen with a rideshare company. So what Uber has been doing the last couple years is showing what amazing things can happen when you have a rideshare company, right? People didn't realize how fun it is, how great it is, and what they're missing out on. So they were creating a market that didn't exist before. And so to do that, they had to go into a lot of markets that explicitly outlawed Uber. Portland did this for a while too, but then they backed down. Most cities at first reject Uber, but then they eventually come around to it because people like it so much. But anyway, to avoid police officers, what they would do is when a police officer or an investigator would sign up for Uber, you have to use a credit card. So they were basically stalking law enforcement and different inspectors and flagging their accounts. So if you're an inspector and you're gonna call an Uber to try to give somebody a ticket or start an investigation, they would do all kinds of buggy things to the app, not make it work, track where the person was. It's super creepy. They went, in some places they even went as far as to look at the person's Facebook profiles and stuff like that, and then made these databases where they tracked all this stuff to avoid, and all this was to bring the service to a market that didn't want them in it until the demand for Uber was so high that that specific municipality just had to give in. And it is unethical, it is balls-to-wall crazy. I hope someday someone does a movie about it. But if you're law enforcement, if you're an agency in any country, municipality, city, whatever, you should be super pissed about it. And mark my word, there's gonna be fallout from this because people don't like it when companies do insanely illegal things just to kind of promote themselves and make money. But anyway, that's all I got for today, guys. So, bye. my son. I woke your personal driver. And today we're going to talk about hashtag no Uber. And in general, discuss is Uber
like,
moral,
comment,
is Lyft
subscribe.
moral, what's the difference?
Put comments below. You guys want to be an Uber, Lyft, or Juno driver? You can click the links to the left-hand side.
Sorry about that. The video is pretty dark.
For you.
I'm in post-production now, or editing, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not going to change it.
Bye, Internet.
I got some new lights. It's a new channel, so I'm trying new things.
Yeah,
Sorry.
thumbs up in the comments.
First off,
right.
this is an unplanned
Johnny,
video.
are you supposed to be sleeping?
What happened over this last week kind
Did
of
I
blew
woke
up
you
all
up?
over the internet and Twitter,
Yeah.
and I
Now
kind of
you're
have to
doing
do a video
videos on the
about it
internet,
now.
huh?
So I'm going to put a video or link
Tell
here
the people what
to
they wanna hear,
Uberman's
Johnny.
discussion about the video, which I think is
Who's your
actually
favorite
really
Avenger?
awesome. And I'm also going to put a link here. It's going to
Spider-Man.
be is
Spider-Man.
basically a response to those two videos and a general discussion about what's going on. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what's happening, and that picked that up. Don't do that.
Which?
Went, oh. So.
Let me go. I'm gonna go to sleep. Because I was tired.
Close the door! And there's going to be a lot of fallout from it too, because, you know, people don't like it when companies do super illegal things to avoid, like, and there's going to be some fallout. I fucking keep hitting the bat. Let me try that again.
And you can hear his like.
Yeah.
Nate looks crazy. He has 3 different blankets.
I know. It looks awesome. I can need to lower this.
And his bar.
Oh, yeah, spit up. Damn, that would have been perfect on the camera. Thanks a lot, buddy. Good idea, but too soon.
He's not the size of a newborn anymore.
He's a monster. He's wearing 3 to 6 month stuff. Alright. Let's make you famous, buddy.
Take off the bibs then. Unless you want the bibs.
I'm gonna feed him in it.